You have reached your destination.
Yep. So in July of 2022, I found a gentleman off of Facebook who was selling the engine and two chassis for a C2 Corvette, which lines up perfectly with Ladawri's dimensions. I went to Tennessee, I checked out the engine, and I bought it, and I bought the chassis as well. The engine was great, 150 to 153 psi per cylinder. Boy, that just sounds nice. Okay, so we got one chassis on top of the other. The top one is the best non-dinged up chassis. That's what you're saying.
Except this bad place here.
Except right there. That's not too bad. And then the damaged chassis is here on the bottom.
My brother
It's been repaired.
decided I needed a parts car. I don't know why.
And I'll just do a slow walk around.
What I consider a bunch of things.
So on the bottom chassis, it's got disc brakes front and back. How new are the brakes? What are they off of?
They're new.
Brand new? Okay.
This is what
All right, I'm with Terry Pogue of Blastworks LLC in Hollywood, Maryland. Terry and I have actually overlapped quite a bit in our careers and didn't know it until just a little while ago. And he now runs Blastworks LLC and has done this C2 Corvette chassis.
So what we started with is this frame was brought to us with 30 plus years of rust and corrosion and everything on it. We disassembled the front and rear suspension from the frame, and then we blasted everything, got it back down to bare metal, where the frame showed that it was in very good condition. Once we got it to bare metal, we primed and painted it with a high gloss black paint, and then we reassembled the front and rear suspension to what you see now. We also added new ball joints, so all your ball joints are brand new. New brakes went in. Everything else was in pretty good shape, so we didn't do any of the other things in the front suspension. The rear suspension was in really good shape, so we left that. To make these tires and wheels fit, we had to add 1-inch spacers and adapters on the front of those, which now it rolls.
So when I brought this to Terry, the wheels that were put on here didn't fit, and so the whole frame didn't move. Now it does.
They actually rubbed the calipers so bad that wheels would not turn at all. But
Yeah.
They spin freely, and so this is the finished product on pickup day here at Blastworks. And Chris is here to take his frame to another shop and continue the project.
That other shop, by the way, is my garage.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
good.
I've got the body hanging out of my ceiling. It's a fiberglass body, and the body weighs about 110 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It's real light. Yeah, so this thing plus the engine and transmission and a body, I would be shocked if it all weighed 1,400 pounds once done.
Right.
So it's going to scoot when
This is most of your weight right here.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Any issues? Any problems? We talked about this corner up here. Let's talk about that.
From here to here, it had body work all on the back of this. Somebody was actually trying to hide it. You can see some dents and ripples.
Wait, bodywork as in Bondo?
Uh-huh. So it actually looked like this, but it was just Bondo covering all of that up. Once we blasted it, it exposed all that. And then on this side, there was a patch panel added.
Yep.
Which
that I saw.
Yeah, that was right here. We've actually ground all that down and ground down some of the welds on this side before we painted. And what we think they did that for was to create a hole here so they could pound out some of the dents on this side. So they had hammer and whatever to try to get rid of some of that dent. You can see some of the wrinkles in the frame here. Other than this section right here, I think the frame's in pretty good shape.
So the fact that this came off of somebody's C2 Corvette as an intended resto mod or resto, they found that and said, "Oh hell no, it'll lose points on car shows and so forth." I am not going with a Corvette body. I'm going with something else. So this kind of a thing, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, and I don't know what your next step is, but I have no idea about the frame or the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you may want to take it into a frame shop and just have them check it to make sure that it's good. With the visible damage here, that's probably a good recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there was no rust on the frame. It was all in very, very good shape.
Good. I've got a check for you. And so again, Terry Pogue, Blastworks LLC. Let me zoom into the back of his truck there. I'll put a link to his shop and the phone number when we're done. And I want to thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I got it home now. God damn it. Got it home now. I had it delivered just a few minutes ago and turned it around. Literally, it was backed in front end first. And I backed around with my casters. So, 5 minutes and I'm done. I want to point out a few things. You'll see, in case you don't know about frame blasting, this thing is not perfect and it doesn't look perfect. In that, the metal is not perfect. Okay? You'll see all of these pits that at one point was rust. So, same thing here. Quite a bit of pitting here. A little bit of pitting on the bell housing and such. And then you'll see spots that are just about perfect. That's not a perfect. Yeah, that's not too bad. But again, a frame, this 50-year-old frame in as good a shape as it is, isn't too bad. I'm laughing at the corner there. I've got one more C2 frame that I may just redo, or say fuck it and use this one, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say fuck it and use this one because it is going to hold up this puppy. And this puppy weighs nothing, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. So I'm going to let this sit for, probably until Thanksgiving. And then I will install that puppy in the other puppy. What I need to do, actually, honestly, is take off that transmission and check out the clutch, which would be the smart thing to do before I put everything together. Honestly, and I need to find probably a transmission mount. I need to buy the chassis thing, the chassis drawings for these things, see what goes where. So, I mean, it's a complete chassis, so yeah, not bad. Not bad. I've got more steering stuff in my storage. Yeah, not bad. Pretty excited. Ladawri, here we come.